we're going to do a nice little sort of fantasy reflection effect on Mont St Michel, which is, here it is. This is France. I hope you can visualize the rest of it. And right up on the top there, in Normandy, is Mont St Michel. It's right next to Brittany. And I'll put this away. And it's an absolutely beautiful place. Now, Photoshop. So here we are. This is a causeway. This is the sea at the either side of it, and running along here is a small causeway that takes you back to the land because it's surrounded by water all the way around. It is a little island. It's a rock jutting out, and it's about a 15-minute walk from the Mont back to the coast, basically. And the water, if you catch the tide, you have to run. And some people have been drowned trying to get back. They just can't make it. It comes in so quickly because it's very flat, so the water just rushes over. So this is a picture of Mont St Michel. And you can actually stay in this. It's about 12th century. It's lovely to wander around. Pretty touristy once you're inside, lots of tourist shops. But when the night comes down, it's deserted. Everybody heads back to the beaches in Normandy and Brittany. And we're going to end up making it look like this. So we have, that water would actually be there. It's that length. It really is. But what we're doing is we're going to make a reflection and a nice puddle effect in it, and give it a sort of, there's actually an ellipse around here to give it a glow. So here we have it. So Mont St Michel, start. We're on the background, and we're going to Control A to select all. And then edit copy, Control C to shove it in the memory, Control D to deselect. So now we have all of this in our memory. Now we want to, if you notice this one is, there's the picture. We need to increase the canvas size all that much. So go up to image and down to canvas size. Pull down height. Width we'll leave the same, but the height, pull down to %, and I'm going to make this 250. And the anchor is going to be at the top, so that the canvas will stay in position at the top, and then the new background is going to come at the bottom below it. Okay. There we go. I'm going to zoom out. You can see what's happening. All right. And what we'll do now is paste the image on top. Control V for Victor to paste it in. There we have it. Comes in on its own image. And then you take the move tool and move it in up at the top. I want to make sure that I can, it's in exactly the right place. So I'm going to deselect the background, and then I'm going to nudge it into position. There we go. So far so good. Back on layer 1. Layer 1 is selected. Now we're going to flip it. So we will transform it, Control T to transform, or edit, free transform, and there are your handles. Click that one up at the top and watch till you get the double-headed arrow. Hold down the left mouse and just drag it all the way down. Okay. Now I can see, I'm going to double click, I can see that I haven't quite got that connection. Okay, so use the arrow tool and nudge it into place, and eventually we will crop this out. We don't want that coming in. Okie dokie, nudged into place. Now we're going to darken the reflection. So I want you to hide the background. Okay, and on layer 1, you can press Q on the keyboard, or we will click this little button, which is Edit in Quick Mask Mode. Again, Q. Now we want to get the Gradient tool, which is under your paint bucket. Click on Gradient. The one that we want is the top left. It's linear gradient. Nothing else will work. And then pull down the gradient picker. We want one at the top, second from the top left. It's foreground to transparent. And then you make sure that your foreground is black. If it isn't, click on D on the keyboard to restore the defaults. Okay, and then we're going to go from the top down about 2/3 of the way. I'm going down to the top of the spire. Click. There, I have applied my mask. Now remember, the mask will shield, so whatever we do will not happen in that red area. Okay, So we want to make this a selection. You can either click that one, edit in standard mode, or hit Q on the keyboard. There we have our selection. Okay, we are still on layer 1, and then now we want an adjustment layer so that we can desaturate this. Well, not desaturate, but here is the adjustment layer icon. Click on it and go down to hue and saturation. And then we are going to start increasing the saturation a little bit. Now, see the effect that I get? I don't want that. I'm going down for about that. And then I'm going to darken it a little bit. Bit dark. There, we're getting that gloomy reflection effect. And then OK. Now we're still on. Move on to layer 1. Okay. We want to put a Gaussian blur on this. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And I'm going to put, let's see what effect that does. There, we're getting a nice rippley effect coming in. That would do me, okay, 1.7 radius. That just takes the edge off. Now we're going to put a ripple effect for the water. If we went up and did distort ripple right now, we'd get a really jagged effect, which we don't want. So what we will do is get the rectangular marquee tool, there it is, and going to select the image on layer 1. So you draw your image around it. Okay, and then what we'll do is right click to get feather, or you can go up to select feather, and 10 looks okay for me. Okay, and now we've got a little distort on it, so we can a feather effect, so we can go up to filter, distort, and then we want ripple. What does ocean ripple do? Bit heavy. It's out there on the sea. Filter, distort, ripple. And pull in so that you can see the water and the building itself. So the higher the amount, the more the ripple effect. And there's no right or wrong really, as long as it looks good. Medium is good, and then OK. They're going to be different every time you do it. And then we'll deselect that. Getting ripply, good. We are going to make the background visible, and then I'm going to crop away some of this to get an even more atmospheric effect. I can still see that white. Let me nudge. Anyway, I'll think about that later. Get your crop and take away about the top fifth of the background. I should be on background. Make sure you're on background. Let me see. If I'll go, it'll apply the top. It doesn't really matter. I'm just thinking. All right, we'll crop away. I don't want that white at the bottom. Up. Right now, that if I move my mouse down a little bit, it goes right to the bottom. So hold the Alt key. I'm sorry, Control key, and then you can slide it up and down with greater precision. There we are, and then double click to embed that. There we go. Taking shape, taking shape. Now we're going to get a nice vignette effect. So I'm going for the elliptical marquee tool. I've got no feather right now, and then I'm going to draw an elliptical effect around. I'm grabbing both sides of the building. Okay. And then I'm going to right click and invert this, or Control Shift I. So what I do applies outside the ellipse. Okay, I'm going to put an adjustment layer on here, hue and saturation, and I'm going to make the lighting, I'm going to drop it down a bit. I'm going to keep it like that, and then OK. And right now it looks really harsh around there. I like the lighting effect, but I don't like that line. So I'm going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Okay, and I'm going to pull. Come on, pull, pull, pull. There we go. See that harsh line? Don't like that. Increase the radius. We're looking way up. Just so that, and I'm actually viewing it here. That's the effect I like. I'm going to go OK. And that is it. But remember to put on your effects. Only one of these to do.